Hello everyone, and welcome. We're out here for the weekend. Anne's going to go and collect some moss in a minute. And I'm going to open up the roof. On the one side, I'm going to try and finish that wall. And then if I have time, we're going to start the other wall and get as much done as we can while we're here. Hopefully we can get quite a bit done today. We may stay a little bit tomorrow and do a little bit more work. We'll see how much we get done today and how it goes. So Anna's pulling up some really nice chunks of moss. But what we're doing is taking some moss from this spot, and then we go to another spot. We've got 5 or 6 different spots. So we're grabbing moss from each area instead of taking all the moss out of one to give the moss a chance to regrow. But look at the nice chunks of moss that she's pulling out of there. That's going to be perfect for the cabin. Let's get this roof untied and get ready to start bringing up the wall. Roof is now open and ready for business. "91 inches. Now let's go cut our next log and get ready to start putting some moss on. Well, now we needed 91 inches, which is right about there. And that should just about do it. Now we add the moss. Beautiful chunks. So we will add our next piece of paracord. Slide it in behind our support. We'll put it up here just to hold it up while I put the log on. And this is the tag for the one I'm going to use to tie the log right now. So in goes the log. Simple knot. Another knot. Leave it open. Put the tag end through in the same direction. and then just ratchet it down. So that's good and solid. I'm going to tie the last one at the end and then keep going up. We're working away on the wall. And pulled up a seat to have a break for a couple of minutes, and Lucy ran right over to the pile of moss and went, "Ooh, I found a comfortable spot." Okay. Don't get too cozy, dog. I'm going to need that moss soon. Some of you may recall in the spring, I made this toggle and drilled a hole through it, and I've been using it as a lock for the cabin door. Well, we're almost done with the other wall. We're going to be starting on this wall soon, which means I'm not going to be able to have this rope sliding back and forth here. So the plan is, I'm going to pull it through and just leave it here as one rope. And I've tied a prusik that I'm just going to put here on the door. Okay, so I've tied it too small. I got to tie a bigger one. Take two. I got a longer piece of cord. Just going to tie a knot in it. And that gives me a nice big loop. On the door here, I've got a notch. Run that through. And now, with my single cable tied to the post, I put the toggle through, pull up the slack. Door's nice and tight, not going anywhere. So when I put up the moss on this wall, I'm still going to be able to lock my door. So now Anne is hard at work chinking the back wall. Filling in all these holes is going to do wonders for keeping the heat in. Getting close to the end. We're on a ladder. Three more logs and we should be done. And then I think we're going to run up to the car and get the cots and everything get down here before it gets too late. And if I have time, I'll start on the other wall. Last log is tied. There's just a tiny little hole here. Anne brought up a little bit of moss and left it on the roof for me. And I stuffed that with moss. And that should help keep things a little warmer. Now, I noticed when I was here the other day, in this tarp, the area that comes right over this point here, I rounded it off with my knife when I got here, but it's got a small hole. Oh, and my roll of tape fell. As you can see, it's just a small hole. Now, I don't want to change this tarp this year. So what I'm going to do is give it a little strength with some Gorilla Tape. I'm going to put a couple pieces on the inside. And then when I pull the tarp over, I'll put a couple of pieces on the outside. And that should give it just enough strength to last at least one more season. Next year, I may decide to change the whole tarp. The canvas will still be good, but I'll just have to change the cover tarp. And that should work well as a patch. Now I can close up this side. And once it's all tied down, and I'll be able to chink the bottom while I start the other side. So the wall is done up to the top. And Anne's got a stick that I sharpened up for her. And she's using that to finish chinking the wall. So she'll have this done relatively quick. And then we'll have one wall completely done. That is awesome. You're doing a wonderful job. Now that the other wall's done, we still have a little bit of daylight left. So we're going to get what we can done on this wall. Anne has already started to put the moss. I'm just measuring out for my next piece. So Anne's going to put the moss. I'm going to go get the next one. And now it's back to the same old, same old. Tie, moss, log, tie, moss, log. Check it out. We've just hit the low part of the roof. That calls for a celebration. So now we got the one side done. And I just hit the low part of the roof on the other side. Time for a downtown brown. Oh. And a few minutes of relaxing. Oh yes, Anne's having a bone shaker. Cheers. Good job. We got a lot done today. I actually didn't think we'd get that high. I figured we'd get the one side done. And I knew I'd start the other side, but I didn't think I'd get that high because I'm not done. I'm having a beer and then I'm back at it until I lose sunlight. And that way, we're not going to have to worry about frozen moss until I put the addition on the front. But I think the addition on the front, I'm standing the poles up. I'm not coming out very far. Just about that far. It's just enough to give us a spot so that when we go in the winter, when it's cold and our clothes are wet, we can hang our clothes and they're not dripping on our bed. That's all I'm doing. It's strictly for a spot to put the wet boots and the wet clothes.
So a wardrobe in front of the cabin.
Pretty much, yes. I may even tie a short pole across the top so that we can put coat hangers. And I might make a coat hanger spot at the back beside the fireplace on either side so that if we do have a really wet jacket or a wet coat or a wet shirt or wet pants, we can hang them beside the stove overnight and they'll dry. Oh, that feels good. So while I'm doing that, Anne graciously prepped the fire. And if you're expecting a really fancy dinner tonight like we usually do, it's not happening. We knew it was going to be a work kind of day. So all we brought is sausages. Good enough. So just a little update. I didn't go any higher on the cabin walls because I didn't have a piece long enough. All of the wood we have left, it's all short pieces. So I grabbed the saw and the axe and I went back in the bush and I went and found a bunch more logs. And then Anne stripped them. And while she was doing that, I blew up my mattress. I set up my bed. And now we're sitting down. I helped her finish a little bit. And now we're going to sit down and relax. So tomorrow morning, I will take my time, have my coffee, have my breakfast, my same old routine. And she brought earplugs, so I might start working on the cabin while she's still sleeping. Because all the cutting and the noise is over here. Over there is just tying knots and adding quiet moss. But we'll see how it goes. I may change my mind and let her sleep a little longer and go get firewood. It all depends on how early I get moving. Because I don't want to be working on the cabin at 7 in the morning. Mind you, at 7 in the morning now, it's dark. We ended up sitting on the job site and waiting for half an hour yesterday because at 7:30 it was too dark to do anything. We couldn't see what we were doing. We had to wait till 8 o'clock. But that's the time of year. Clocks are going to go back soon. Then it's going to be really dark, really early. I brought the Pomoly stove, but it was really warm all day today, and it's not supposed to be cold tonight. So we decided not to set it up. Our sleeping bags are heavy enough that we're going to be okay. Morning, everyone. I'll be with you in a minute. I got to finish up a little bit of breakfast prep. Now, this is the Lixada version of a gasifier stove. Works well. I've used it before. It's got a nice big opening so that once you get the fire going, you can keep feeding it quite easily. Let's get that in there. Shred some finer stuff. I do really enjoy using these stoves. I like my little gas one sometimes. It does work well. But once the weather starts getting cooler, I find it the gas in the can gets cold and it starts to slow down a little bit. It takes a little bit longer to boil your water. And let's face it, the wood ones are way more fun. Okay. Now that was a lot easier. Now we're going to let that burn down a little bit. And a few small twigs just to make sure it gets going. Now once that's burning properly, we'll start boiling our water. We had a good night last night. Sat by the fire, Roasted a few sausages. Had some good conversation. Listened to a bit of good music. Then when Anne went into the cabin to put her pajamas on, it was damp in there and a little cold. So in the dark, I had to set up the wood stove. But we got it going. We warmed it up in there. It was 9 degrees Celsius outside, and I got it up to about 24 Celsius inside. So we were nice and toasty when we went into bed. I didn't burn it all night. I just let it burn for a little bit, and I stalked it just before I went to bed, and I let it burn out. And then we slept fine all night long. It was just to get the dampness out, really. Morning, the sun's starting to come up. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. I had quite a few logs last night and stripped them all. So I'm going to take my time and have breakfast. And a cup of coffee. And then after I eat, I think we're going to get started back on that cabin again. See if we can get that other wall up today before we have to leave. I hope so. If not, we should be very close. If I can get that cabin insulated enough that I can keep it warm, it'll be a whole lot better. I don't need it super warm because I'm a warm sleeper. You put me in a sleeping bag, give me 10 minutes, I'm toasty. Anne, however, is a cold sleeper, and Lucy is getting up there in age, and it's getting tough for her. She's 10 years old now. And in the last year or so, we've noticed when we come out here, she runs around and she plays, and then she goes and lays down for a while. But when it's cold out, or there's a bit of snow on the ground, she runs around and plays, and then she lays down on the cold, wet ground or in the snow and shivers. That's why we stopped using the hammocks early, because I've got no way of keeping Lucy warm. In the summer, she's okay to sleep on the ground underneath us, but not at this time of year. That's why we're concentrating on that cabin a lot more now. Because in the cabin, her bed is right beside the wood stove. So she stays nice and toasty all night long. We have a boil. Put some of that in the oatmeal. Move that aside and let it sit for a minute. Let's get this coffee started. Oh, that's the fire. I don't want to do that. Time for that first cup of liquid joy. Oh, back. Enjoy the coffee. I'm boiling some more water because I always end up drinking the first pot, and I make a second pot for when Anne gets up. So if I figure if I get the water boiling now, by the time I finish this cup and pour in the second cup, water will be ready. I can make Anne's coffee. And then when she gets up, if it's too cool, I can warm it up for her. If she doesn't like her coffee too hot. Oh, that is good. Anything better than that first cup of coffee? That's the nice part with this stove, is it draws its air from underneath, and the holes are big, so it gets lots of air. So as long as you get a good bed of coals in there, throw your wood in and don't worry about it, it'll go. These cups they work well, but they're just too small. Ta-da! Perfect lazy morning. But it's only lazy until my cup is empty. All that's left is to pull the tarp back down and tie it all down, and then chink the little bit of bottom. Anne's just about done chinking the last of it. So now all the walls are done. There's only the front left to deal with. That's gonna be awesome. But that's gonna be it for this weekend. We're gonna pack up and get ready to head out. So if you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more of it, hit the subscribe button. If you're gonna do that, you may as well hit the notification bell, and it'll let you know whenever we put out a new video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.